Yeah, you can hit record. You have access. You have keys to the Corvette, buddy. You can drive also, right?
Like, I'm gonna do like a Lee Corso tonight though, and I'm gonna use this pen I found with my kids right here, and I'm gonna talk like they do on like college game day.
That's a big
pencil every time. I'm gonna use this whatever the hell this is, diamond. Like, look at this thing.
That's I listen. But however people decide to live their lifestyle is fine with me.
Yep.
But I will say, I hope that is your daughter's pen.
It is.
Oh, okay,
it is. It's not mine.
We're recording, by the way.
I'm gonna use it tonight because I feel like I got like this.
Yeah. You feel like it's like it just drives home points, right? Yeah. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another crazy, already well-established episode of the Card Hedge podcast. I'm your co-host Omar, aka Retro Hoops. That's my man's in them, JD Sports.
Changing my name to Magic Muffins, JD.
The Magic Muffins.
I'm like this.
That's a fancy pen there. I kind of feel like I'm feeling a little left out, to be honest with you. All I have here in front of me.
I'd send you a pen, but by the time it gets there, it wouldn't. This episode would be over.
Yeah, it'd be over. Yeah, it'd be. I do have a shoehorn.
Oh, use that.
Yeah.
Damn. What are you shoehorning, bro?
What? Shoehorning my shoes. Whenever you put on whenever you're doing high tops, you have to have a relatively long. Like you can't have like one of those little short ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I got OG like Jordan 1 high tops. Like,
don't you just untie the laces?
No, you do, but you don't want to step all over the back heel of your shoe and stuff and crunch it. And over time, it's not a good look. So you got.
I know that. I'm a sneakerhead. I understand.
I know you are. I know, but you don't use a shoehorn. What do you?
Nah, what do you son. I unlace and then
you just mash them like a Neanderthal.
Look, no, like these aren't even tied. I go straight untied anyway.
Okay, so. All right. No, I respect that. I guess, yeah. I mean, I tie, but I don't tie tight. You know what I mean? Like I like a nice snug fit on my kicks. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. If I got a pair of shell toes though, shell toes are a little bit looser. I like those a little bit wider.
Yeah. I don't wear Adidas.
No, you don't. Well, I'm very selective. Stan Smith is one of my top rated shoe. I recommend that shoe to anybody who's not a sneakerhead. Like people who aren't sneakerheads, I tell them if you want to have anything in your rotation, get you a nice pair of Stan Smith Adidas.
Did I ever show you the Jordans I made for my daughter?
You made some Jordans for your daughter?
Yeah.
Now you'll have to show me those. No.
I'll have to. I'll text her to bring them down. But in the meantime, carry on.
Yeah. So I forgot where we were going with that. But anyway, yeah. So I'm gonna use my shoehorn and you do the diamond pen. Dude, did you hear about this? I know you heard about it, the submarine thing.
Yes.
Dude. I know we're like maybe like a week late on this, but like I typically don't like to talk about tragic things. Like this is very tragic. People at the end of the day, people lost their lives, right? But
yes.
It's like when you start reading and you start seeing some of the videos and like the dude was steering the whole thing with an Xbox control. Look, man,
people do some crazy things, bro.
At some point, it's like, can we just let Darwinism do what it's gonna do? Like, is that Darwinism at its finest? Like, man, that's.
Let me ask you this question in all honesty. If you had unlimited funds, like, what would be the craziest thing you'd want to do? Like, unlimited, do anything you want.
Unlimited funds? Well, see, the problem with unlimited funds is that if you say if you have unlimited funds, right, then the craziest thing in the world isn't really that crazy because you have unlimited funds, right? Like,
but so like, would you go to the moon? What would you do?
Oh, so you're just talking about just straight adrenaline rush?
Like, I don't know anything.
Here's what I would do. I would make a concerted effort to become a well-trained mountain climber. Do the proper, right? Like legitimately work my way up over a couple of years, right? And become at least well-trained enough to hit Everest.
So you'd scale Everest?
I'd try. I'd give it a shot.
All right.
I'd give it like a legitimate. Money's not an issue. I'm gonna dedicate my time, my discretionary time, to solely train. First I'll do Kilimanjaro. I'll do there's levels to this, right? Yeah. What about you?
Two things. I would. I'm not like, so. My adventure is different. I would buy the house next door to Michael Jordan in Florida, like that. That would be like my first thing. So me and Mike would be neighbors.
Yeah.
And then two, I'd buy a cabin, dude, out in like Wyoming or Montana, and I would just fish.
Ted Kaczynski style, just off the grid.
No, not like Unabomber style. Like, I like people and stuff, so like, I'm not like a fan of like living out there not talking to people and all that stuff.
Okay, gotcha.
But like, I would have like a nice ranch or something out in the
Yeah.
So
there's a lot of Look, man, I've flown across the country a few times. Like just jumping on planes. Even just from Houston to Chicago. You're right over the Midwest. It's a lot of open space out there, Bubba.
Yeah.
It's a lot of open space.
I don't want to live in like, no offense to people in like, North Dakota, Tornado Alley there, down to your house. But like I don't want to live there. You know what I mean? But like, I'd like to live. I'd like to have a place out west where I can go and chill. That would really be it for me, man. I'm pretty simple.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. I mean, being another thing too is that I live in Texas, so we're already pretty spread out. Oh, a little pair of mids there, huh? Is that a gray top? How, when you say you made those, how'd you took you colored them up or what?
Yeah.
Look at you.
Yep.
Have you ever seen that guy, the shoe surgeon?
No.
Oh, look him up, Bubba. The kind of shoes that guy makes is insane.
There's a site you can go on. I forget where it was. I found it. You can customize what you were doing, like between Nike and like Nike. You could do it, and with the kids, it's easier because the shoes are smaller.
Yeah.
But when you get in like my size, like 10.5. Everything that's like the most popular shoe size in the world. So everything's
that's what I am.
Out of stock or $7 million. So,
yeah. You been picking up anything lately? I got a couple little tings.
Nada. I got some Ellie De La Cruz tops now. The call up card.
That guy's hot. That guy's hot fire, isn't he?
Yeah. I grabbed this Bo Bichette rookie card, which you can't see. Out of 25, top gold label.
Bo bitch.
And I grabbed this Piazza linchpins.
The linchpins. You love that linchpin set, don't you? That's a dope set, man.
It's just cool, and you don't really see them come up, and then like when they do, I got something else coming too. I got a Greg Maddux. I made a couple trades on my card post.
Shout out to dude in Canada.
Post. So I'm waiting for that to come in. I got a Juan Soto autograph card coming, and then I got I think that's it. I really haven't been buying much, man. I've had too many grading orders pop at the same time.
Oh yeah.
So the card account's been depleted, man, paying for fees. So I'm trying to sell some of that stuff back. I some of it just already sold, but I need some other stuff to sell. So that's it.
I've been on an absolute Sengun tear the last couple weeks. So word is that my boy went off to Turkey in the off season, and I don't know what, because I don't know if you know, but the medical community in Turkey is not as well regulated as it is.
Yeah, I've heard that.
So they do some pretty highly experimental stuff. But the story goes is that my boy Sengun left Houston in the off season 6'10" and came back 7 feet. So, and the entire Rockets team, like they were the day that they came back, like for like, I guess what you would call like OTAs, right? Like, people went nuts. All his team members were like tweeting and videos on Instagram and stuff. Like, man, this dude just like sprouted out of nowhere. Like,
well, how old is he?
He's a young kid. He's maybe 20. 21.
Yeah, so he could still technically grow a little bit, man.
Yeah, I guess you got until about, what is it, about 25 before you fully Like whatever you're at
I mean,
25 is
it
kind of
all
where you're at.
depends. I mean, usually you're done after, 18-ish. You know what I mean? But like, I mean, Scottie Pippen grew what 6-7 inches in college.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah.
David Robinson grew in the Navy.
In the Navy. Yeah.
So it can happen.
Yeah, I
It can
suppose
happen.
so. I guess 2 inches really like growing height wise is not too
Yeah,
far fetched.
that's not. I mean, it's a lot, but it's
I
also not.
could probably do that in a good yoga session.
Yeah, yeah. Or
You know what
hang
I'm
from a
saying?
swing set like Bobby Brady.
Yeah. So I went I picked up some I just got a Choice Mojo PSA 10.
Yeah.
And then I got 2 really cheap ones, just a retail orange prism,
Yeah.
orange cracked ice, red wave, which is always good to have color match, all those PSA 10. And then I got a couple of them that I have sleeved up ready to go out. This is my favorite one. This is Don Russ Elite.
Yeah.
Die cut numbered to 72. And then I got a blue version that's not die cut, and then I got like just this regular silver version, 75th anniversary prism.
Oh,
So all these are going to go out, and then just a couple pulsars, prism and optic pulsar. So these are all going to go out for grading.
Nice.
Along with Rudy T that my boy Peter sent me. So shout out to my boy Peter. And then I also got a couple of FCG purchases that I made that we are going to be crossing over. So these were all cracked them out of FCG cases. So I'll be sending those off to get regraded.
Nice.
Yeah, but that's about it. Yeah.
Nice.
And that's cool. That's kind of what we were talking about before we click record, is that I'm kind of up against a wall here. I've been holding on to these for a little bit, wanting to send them off to get graded. And I can't get past that $18 mark. That $18 mark, it's tough. It's tough. I'm gonna tell you why it's tough. And you know how much I love SGC. Yep. I love SGC. But for all the reasons that I love SGC, the new and improved CGC cards is right there. It's right there with them. And they're about what, $2 or $3 cheaper, something like that. Let's see.
Well, you have a membership; they're like $5 cheaper, $8 cheaper.
Which I do have a membership.
So, like, you're essentially being able to grade 2 for 1 there.
Let me see. I do have a membership now. I forgot about that. Let me sign in and see what's the deal.
Because carry on the convo for a second.
Yeah. So the thing about it is that I don't know. Bless you. I'm just having this issue with where I'm trying to figure out, like, okay, what are we doing here, right? I love SGC. Everybody knows that. There's no secret about that. But for everything that I love about SGC, CGC cards is kind of the same thing. They provide a lot of the same service. They have a lot of the same pedigrees. And this newly formed kind of merging of the sports piece and then the comic book piece and the TGC piece and then the non-sports piece, like all of that has now come together. And whereas before, where you didn't have, I forgot I can bring you back in here. Let me bring you back in. There we go.
Sorry about that.
Whereas before, I didn't have that option because I didn't have enough for a bulk order for CGC.
Yeah.
I now have that because I got a few TCG cards that I want to get graded. I also have some Marvel cards that I want to get graded. Now I can throw them all in this mix together and get the pricing.
But you still would spend. What are we looking at here? What's their website?
That's what I'm trying. That's where I'm at. CGCcards.com. Trading cards. Submit trading cards. Choose your tier. Here we go. So their bulk, their bulk is $15, and you only need 25 cards, and it can be a mix, and their turnaround time is 30 working days.
See, so I wouldn't send to them right now. And I'm going to tell you why. My guess is they're going to make another announcement here soon. Well, they actually, that's not a guess. They said this in their press release.
On the
that they
around
were
the
going to
national,
have
right?
pricing information coming up. My guess
point.
is they're going to move to $10 a card or potentially cheaper. I have no information on that. I'm purely speculating.
Pure speculation. Yeah.
But I feel like, and I tweeted this at the Sue's, who was a guest of ours on the
Shout
show.
out to the Sue's.
Love the Sue. She's great. But she was asking a question on something, and I said, "Listen, this is a race to $10. Whoever gets to $10 first, I think,
Wins.
takes that second spot and holds on to it strong. Because once you know how it goes, man. When you're playing catch up, it's you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm,
and also, one thing we talk about a lot with Lou, who will be a guest on our show next week, I believe. I can't wait for that.
Yep.
It's going to
Shout
be
out
epic,
Long Money Lou.
It's going to be epic.
I can't wait for that.
But we always talk with Lou about potential acquisitions and mergers and things like that. And I'm not so sure. And again, because we don't know anything, right? But
right.
I don't know. I mean, you see a lot of these big companies. First of all, you see Fanatics just going around like a commercial lawnmower dude. Just
Fanatics are just chopping everything up. We'll get to that in a second because that's another thing I want to talk about is Fanatics.
But then, like you also heard in that PWCC purchase that PSA
was trying to buy
was trying to buy him. And
what would the logic be behind that? Don't they already?
I don't know. I don't know. Right? They have Golden. They have a vaulting service.
Would it just be market share gain? Like
I don't know. Like maybe they want. I don't know because again, it doesn't make sense. They have Golden. So if you
they have Golden, but Golden. The type of stuff that Golden is selling is not the type of stuff PWCC is.
No, that's not true. Golden's auctions now do everything. He does everything.
Really? Okay, I thought it was always just the high end stuff.
Yep. And there's been some really good deals on there. I don't know if it's consolidation. I think, and again, I haven't been on Golden, so I don't know. But I know PWCC's app, technology, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, pretty solid.
It's second to none, dude.
So that's what I'm saying.
So
like
could it be like a straight technology purchase?
Yes, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, because you mentioned it earlier today in our group chat, and when I saw it, I was thinking to myself, why would they? There's really no reason other than market share. But to your point, that they're scanning.
Just, I think it's important too to just kind of put out there like we have no clue. We're just we're speculating. Like if I were Nat Turner, where's my head at? Like, why would I want to buy PWCC?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I honestly, to me, like if I were him, I'd be looking to swallow up Beckett and SGC because I don't think he can. I don't think buying CGC is in his purview. I don't know the man's financial stuff, but again, he does have what's his face there from the Mets, Steve. God, I can't think of his name. The owner of the Mets. Anyway, whatever. But
I would probably say out of those two, I wouldn't think SGC is even in the conversation because I don't think SGC would sell, but Beckett might.
Listen, everybody's got a price.
Oh no, you're
Remember
right.
That.
So,
absolutely. But I think I don't know. I don't know if it would be wise to just buy Beckett and I don't know. Like, what do you do with Beckett?
Phase him out. Just get him out of there. They're still pulling in numbers, like some.
They are, but the other thing too is this, right? So the flip side of that, and here you go, right? Because now that I'm thinking, I got my pen.
Yeah.
You look at the gem rate numbers.
Yeah.
does it makes no sense for PSA for Nat Turner to go out and buy any of these other grading companies because they're not even scratching the surface. Any of them, the
No,
three
they're
of them
not. Yeah, they're
combined,
not
the
even in the
three of
ball
them
game.
combined.
Yeah.
So that's probably not money well spent, but at the same time, it does open up potential more distribution, and you able to lower your price, and you know what I mean. I don't
Mhm.
know, right?
Market
Like
share. Yeah,
you're that guy. You
yeah,
talk. You know more about that.
yeah. Just pure market
Um,
share. I mean, why would they care about 66K or even
88K. They
70K?
don't.
Why would they care about 88K? They're coasting at $1 million a month.
That's
They
not
don't.
even 300,000 cards
They don't.
between the three other companies.
They don't give. They don't give two rats ass about anything that
No,
these guys got going on.
no, no,
You know, if anything,
nope.
they're looking. Like I said, the PWCC move makes sense because it's definitely what I would think to be much in the same way that they did with God, what's the Ginament,
Yeah,
right? Same thing. They
yeah.
did it for the
Technology stuff,
technology. They
right?
did it for the IP.
So that would make sense, I
Yeah,
guess. I don't know really any other reason because, again, like I said, they have Golden, which is their marketplace. They have a vaulting service. So unless they just want to capture more of that market now, I do think the marketplace is key and that vaulting service is key. Maybe they don't have the numbers that they'd like out of their vaulting service and out of Golden. I don't know, right?
yeah,
Um, but if you take the technology and stuff that PWCC has and combine that with Golden now, you've got a pretty, I think, you got a really big competitor to eBay.
yeah,
You know,
yeah. As far as card selling, yeah. Yeah, because that's I mean PWCC was doing the majority of their stuff on originally
eBay.
on eBay. Yeah, people
Yeah.
forget that one of the bigger sellers there. I am looking at a seriously cheap card here. Premiere. Oh, this is interesting. All right. Yeah, so I'm kind of torn, dude, to be honest with you, because the other thing that I was looking at is that like
Well,
so
there's really nothing to be torn about. 1990s to present at PSA is $15 a card. There's no reason to grade anywhere else. They're taking about a month. There's no reason to grade anywhere else.
this. No, where do you see 1990s to present?
They're running a special right now.
What?
Yeah.
Where do you see that at? Where do you see that at?
I don't know.
Online submission center. It's gonna ask me to freaking log on. Are they really doing a special right now?
Yeah, I've been using it like a madman.
Let me
Yeah,
see.
right. Hang on.
Online submission center price guide. Pop report, auction prices, pricing and services. Yeah, their TCG. It says their TCG is $15.
Here you go. 90s plus sports special. 1990 to present, $15 a card, limited time, 10 card minimum. Declared value limit $199.
1990 to win? To present?
Present. Yep.
Oh hell. Dude, that's insane.
And
15
it
bucks?
says estimated turn 65 days. It's been about 30 now. So there's no point. Honestly, if you want my honest opinion. there's one choice.
15 bucks a card. Man, that's not bad.
No, it's not. That's what I'm saying, son.
Here's my issue with PSA. Is a couple of these cards I think are really, really nice.
Yeah.
And I just don't trust them to grade them
I've sent in
accurately.
I've had an order back every single month for this year, right? So
From
I'd
PSA?
say, yep. I'd
You
say the
subbing
first.
yourself or you group subbing?
No, I go with Adam there, the professor.
Oh, Gertz does group submissions?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
And what's the pricing? The same or what?
Same.
Okay, he just handles
Same.
everything.
Yeah, just send them to him.
I think I might do that.
So, there's honestly like only one order I've gotten back where I was like that order we talked about where I got like 6s and 7s where I was like, what is this?
That's
like,
what I'm afraid of, dude. That's a waste of money.
Other than that, everything's been on point. Other than that, so 5 out of 6 orders this year have been on point.
See, you just made my point, dude. You just made my point. That would never happen at SGC.
That's not true.
Name a time. Name a time
So
when
I've sent in cards to SGC that have been sent back as not minimum size or whatever, and I send them right back, and they get graded.
To SGC.
Yep.
Really?
Yep. They're none of them are perfect, bro. So like,
I don't know. I don't think I've ever
honestly,
had that issue with them.
And more often than not, like we've talked about, everything I've ever gotten back from SGC has usually been in with a half grade of where I've never gotten any like what the hell, you know what I mean?
That's my point.
I shouldn't say never, because I have had a couple of cards that weren't graded for whatever reason. I'm like, what? But then I'll send them back in the next order and they get graded. So
you get charged for that though? You don't get charged for it, do you?
No. Nope.
See, that's the beauty, man. Like that's
I hear you. But the bottom line is this.
that you're never gonna get a card that you're gonna go, what the hell? Why did this get a 4? Right? Like you're never gonna get that, right? Out of SGC. Yeah. At least in the hundreds of cards that I've submitted, that has never happened to me where I've gotten a card and I'm like, what the hell is this? Why did this get a 7? Right? Like this is a 2021, 2022, immaculate card and it got a 7 or a 6. Like what the hell? That has never happened. I have, just like you, have gotten cards back that they said it's minimum cuts, whatever. No, but then I didn't get charged for them. I got my refund. Right. And so, to me, that is okay. That is totally acceptable. Totally acceptable.
I agree.
What's not acceptable is that
being charged to not grade it.
Being charged, you didn't grade it, right?
Yeah, that's BS. I agree.
And on top of that, the possibilities are extremely higher from PSA that you're going to get at some point an order where you're going to go, what the hell? Like we were talking on Big Scott's podcast, right? Scott B cards or Scotty B cards. I can't. I have to get that name out. I'll link him down below because I love watching his card breaks. I love watching his PSA returns. This last return, dude, he got a stack of 6s, 7s, and 8s.
Right.
And he just got murdered, absolutely murdered. And I have very limited money to play with.
Yep.
I have cards that I genuinely care about. And I would love to be able to trust PSA because the fact of the matter is that once those are in PSA slabs, they're going to get more money. They're going to be worth more money.
Yeah.
I will never dispute that.
Yeah. I hear you. I know what you're saying.
I don't trust that they're going to be accurately graded. And Jay in our group chat gives me a bunch of crap about wanting accuracy. And I'm like, how is that? When did wanting a grading company to accurately grade to their own standards that they set forth become something that you shouldn't even be expecting from a grading company?
Right. No, I don't disagree, man. And that's the, I don't know what the
on the
word
flip
is,
side of all of that is
at the end of the day
the extra $3 that I'm gonna have to pay at PSA.
Yeah, it's weird, right? Because that psychology comes in.
Yeah,
that psychology comes in where it's like, man, you got the big dog at 15, and you're telling me it's more money to grade with you. Well, why? Like, what's the difference? Because your cards don't sell for more. The same card, you know what I mean? I got the same card in the same grade.
The same card in a comparable grade. Yep, exactly. You're right.
So what's going on here, homies? Like, I'm missing the math. You know what I mean? And they don't. I don't know. Whatevs.
But
So anyway,
doesn't that speak a little bit to the psychology of us as consumers of
yes,
that service, right? That
yep.
like that 15, 16, 17, $18 price range is kind of
Yeah,
what
it makes a
really
big
gets people
difference.
to scratch their heads.
Yeah, it makes a
And,
difference.
and to your point, it's all about the race to the $10. Who's going to get to $10
Yep,
first?
yep, yep.
And PSA is winning that race right now.
They are. I mean, I think all these specials and things like that are
Yeah.
tests of what can they handle and what are they getting in, and
Mhm.
they've been consistently getting 1 million cards a month, so they have to have it figured out by now. Like, okay, where can we go with this? If we went to $12, what
Right.
happens? You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
What does that look like? Yeah.
The hard part is, I think, for the other guys, if PSA is the first to drop their prices, we're talking end game, because it's not even going to be feasible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if they go to 12, they're going to force you to go to 7.
Yeah. Yeah, because what they're doing is this exactly what's happening to me right now, where I'm second guessing everything.
Yeah.
Right? I'm second guessing everything. 6 months ago, SGC, no doubt about it, no thoughts, no nothing. And then PSA drops to $15 on everything, and I'm like, well, that's interesting. Because all it takes is for one of those Sengun rookie Prism to come back a 10.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I've paid for my entire sub.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas if I send them all to SGC, they might all get great grades. And they won't be worth as much.
No.
But that doesn't really...
But you have to, like, I don't mean to cut you off, but you have to know what you're doing as far as your expectations and
that's true too.
Realistically what the card sells for in each slab,
in each category, or in each grade too,
to make that decision, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like, it's like when you really like look into it, like for me, SGC's best feature is turnaround time.
Yes, absolutely.
So I can take advantage of the Corbin Carrolls of the world and the whoever's of the world that are red hot, because I'm going to get my cards back while that guy's still red hot. So 30 days, that's a little bit longer time. Like, sure, it's still, within a window, especially with the guys on a wicket heater. But let's be real. I mean, most hot streaks are a week to 10 days, and then guy cools off again for 2 weeks, you know what I mean, or whatever it is, and then so to kind of take advantage of that, and not necessarily trying to do like the grading in the off season type thing. I think SGC is still a solid play. I mean, it's certainly not like you're going to maximize your cash, but it's still that play of like, you're going to make some money and move on from a card that if your goal is to buy it to sell it, well, then you've met your goal,
Yeah.
It's just,
I'm looking at this PSA 10 Sengun, because this is one of the cards that I have, a Prism Silver, which I believe to be and if anybody knows anything about this product, the centering on this product has been god awful, right? I mean, that's the biggest thing about 21-22 Prism. PSA 10 goes for $175. PSA 9 drops drastically to $23. And let's face it, if I send the card in, it's probably going to come back a 9.
Yeah, you have to plan for a 9.
You have to plan for a 9. Whereas an SGC 9.5 goes for $33.
Yeah, you get a little bit more. And there's clear market data that 9.5 grade does do well.
It does. It does better than a 9.
Yes.
In most cases. In about 80 to 85% of the cases, it does better than an SGC, than a PSA 9.
Yep.
But again, you're paying that extra $3, right? You're paying that
extra
$3.
It's certainly like, and that's some of, I don't want to keep talking about grading.
Yeah, I know. But like, we always end up doing that, but
yeah. let's just move on to something else. We'll just end up being an hour talking about this.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me ask you this question, because I feel like this would be a hotly debated topic between you and I. So the NBA draft just concluded.
Yep.
And the NHL draft is still going on, but the first round was last night or the night before, whatever it was.
What did my Kraken do?
So I don't know, but let's just focus on the number one picks. So in basketball, Victor Wembanyama was the number one pick. God's gift to basketball, going to be the next great thing, and all this other happy horse crap, right?
No, he's not, but okay.
And in hockey,
Edward
Sal, the next chosen one, was drafted by the Blackhawks and Connor Bedard. Now, I said in our group chat, I'll bet you every dollar I make for the rest of my life that Connor Bedard has a better career than Victor Wembanyama. Thoughts?
So hold on a second. I might be looking at the wrong. So 2023 NHL draft, 2023. So I know about as much as my 6-year-old son knows about hockey.
Sure.
That's
okay. You're not supposed to be an expert, buddy.
I'm not supposed to be an expert. So what I can tell you with some certainty is that Wembanyama is, if you have a Wembanyama card right now, sell. For the love of God, sell that card now, because it is going to be the most that you will ever get for that card ever in that young man's career for the next, I'm not saying for his career, I'm saying within the next 3 years, it's the most that you'll ever get for that young man's card right now. Right now is the
let's even dial that in, right? Because we talked about this a little bit a couple shows ago.
Mm-hmm.
When Prism comes out, because he's not going to have a National Treasures patch auto or any of that. So he's have no autographs in any Panini product. There's be no Wembanyama.
Because he signed with
Fanatics.
Topps, right? Yeah.
So there will be no Wembanyama, any autos at all in any Panini product. So
is that a fact?
That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. Unless Fanatics announces they bought Panini sometime soon or something.
Which I think they probably will, because there's already speculation that there's going to be a 2023-2024 Topps NBA licensed product released next year.
Yeah, they're supposed to be. They talked about Topps Chrome.
Yeah. But NBA licensed. But go ahead. Sorry.
All right. So a couple of things, because there's a couple of points in there. His Prism cards are going to go bananas. They're going to go bananas.
Yeah.
And if you're lucky enough to pull a gold or something like that, dude, you're talking like life-changing money. But at what point, and we kind of know this from other drafts and kind of looking at data and things like that, you really have like a 2-year window of until the hype machine wears off, right?
Right.
Like we saw it with Zion, we saw it with Ja, we saw it with Luka, we see it with everybody. And Grant, you saw it with Shaquille O'Neal. LeBron, whoever it is, right? These guys, whoever, you name the number one pick, and there's craze, and then you realize, oh boy, I just drafted Andrew Wiggins. You know what I mean? So, now the flip side to this is, I will say, I think Wembanyama is a potential special player. I think he is as well. I've never seen a guy 7'5" move and dribble and shoot like he does. I've never seen that. Normally those guys are awkward, they're goofy, they're just an awkward dude, right? Yeah. This kid has like legit handle, can run, can move, So I think some of the hype is going to be justified based off of what you've seen. Now, when you get into training camp and preseason and things like that, if in the preseason, bro, he comes out and drops 25, forget it.
Or you could just watch the shoot around that he did at the Spurs facility the other day, where he hit like 10 bricks, and the only shots that he made were from inside the paint, which, weighing $110, soaking wet with boots and change in his pocket, he's never going to see the light of the paint.
But he's not a post-up player.
No, he's not. But that's my point. That's my point. Yeah. So all his outside shots, he bricked.
Wing. Yeah. So who the Rudy Poo is going to guard him? Nobody.
Well, yeah, that's true. I mean,
Jason
yeah, there's
Tatum and
nobody.
Jaylen Brown are probably the two best wing defenders in the league, and they're what, 6'8"?
Yeah, yeah,
So he's
yeah.
got
He's gonna be shooting
7 inches
over
on
everybody.
them.
Yeah,
So forget it, dude. You can't defend him. So anyway, Connor
yeah.
Bedard also coming into the NHL is like Connor McDavid coming into the NHL, and Wayne Gretzky or whoever. This kid has torn it up, and we're talking like once in a generational player within a matter of years of McDavid coming into the league. Now you're going to have the Connor hype again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm watching his highlights right now. This kid, I don't know what you call like his dexterity with the stick is crazy.
It's insane. Kid's nasty. So what's going to happen there, I think, is this. As you know, and as everybody that watches this show knows, the hype and attention that kid's going to get, I think is going to open up a lot of awesome opportunities to acquire some Connor McDavid rookie cards and some Leon Draisaitl rookie cards and some of these other top guys.
Because it's fading off.
Everybody's over here now.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? So
do you subscribe to the idea that there is a finite amount of attention? And that it all has to be like there's only 100 attentions, right? Like general.
Yep.
And they all have to be spread out somewhere. Like everybody can't be hype at the same time. Like it all has like, you know what I mean? So that I've always subscribed to that. And to your exact point is that it creates some opportunities.
Yeah.
Right?
And that's so like the other thing too, like hockey's a weird like market in itself with the base young gun is like a highly sought after card, and it's just a regular old base rookie card. But the pops on these things, like McDavid's pop, dude, like I'll tell you right now, is let's see here.
We are overran with
so McDavid's PSA 10 2015 Upper Deck number 201 Young Guns rookie has a pop of 2,582.
That's really
and it's
low.
Sitting at just under $3,000.
That's super low.
It's low, but it's not low. You know what I mean? Because think about this, right?
How much product is actually being printed? For one.
A lot.
You think so? You think so? You think Upper Deck is turning on the presses like that?
Well, so probably in 2015, no. But if you think about this, right? Hockey is probably of the four major sports in the U.S., hockey has the smallest market share.
Of course,
which means
that's my point.
It's got the smallest collector base in the United States, right?
But not in Canada.
In Canada, it's a different ballgame. In Europe, it's a little bit of a different ballgame outside of soccer too, right? Not crazy, but hockey's pretty big. You know, we get over to Russia and things like that, but I don't know how many people in Russia are buying cards. You know what I mean?
Shout out to all of our Russian listeners out there. Every single two of you.
But between the United States and Canada, I don't know, like, if I could get my hands on a McDavid PSA 10 Young Guns at $2,900, I don't know if that card has, I think, what's the all-time high on this thing?
Yeah, that's what I was just about to check. At about $2,800, $4,500. What I'm seeing is the all-time high.
Yeah, but back in fake 2021.
Fake February.
No, fake May, 44.87.
Yeah, 44.
So like, you think about that, and I mean, this card this season was up over 3,000, just as recently as February.
Yeah.
So actually,
May. Just as recently as May, 3,600.
Yeah. So, you know, it certainly has the ability to make a few bucks, but I don't know how much more it has to make. You know what I mean?
Dude, if you're such a big hockey fan, man, what were you doing? What were you doing in November 2020?
Not buying hockey. Dude, I don't like hockey outside of the Bruins, dude.
I'm with you. Okay, so
that's my problem.
You're a hometown boy.
I like hockey, but I'm a local. That's it. Hockey's my like one
Yeah. I'm with
sport
you.
where I am a homer.
It's like I got you. It's just
So
just like me and my Kraken.
yeah. So
I'm in
it's
freaking Texas,
while
150.
I love one, am I going to spend $3,000 on that? No. I would probably just buy a Michael Jordan card if I had $3,000. You know what I mean? Or something else. But like the thing that concerns me with McDavid is if he doesn't win a Stanley Cup here pretty soon, it's all this talent for nothing.
Has he
And
never
then
won?
no, nope.
So
They've
why is
struggled
he so hyped?
because he scores over
He's just
100
got
something
scoring
points every
titles
year.
and stuff like that.
Yeah. He's phenomenal. I mean, he's hands down better than everybody. It's not even close.
But all that is for nothing if you don't win championships, man.
Well, that's the thing. So like at some point here, we're talking 8 years in the league.
Yeah, 2015.
And I think he's only on a contract for a couple more years. And Draisaitl, who's his teammate, is only like one of them's got 2 years left and the other's got 3 years left. And they're arguably the two best players in the league on the same team. And yeah, they've made it to the playoffs the last few years, but
they
like
can't
they can't get over that hump. And hockey has a salary cap and the salaries aren't as high and things like that. So they're making max dollars. It's you got to get creative trying to get those role players to fill it out.
Man.
And for whatever reason, they haven't figured it out in Edmonton. And plus, not for nothing, if you're a hockey player, professional now, and you can play in, New York, Boston, LA, even down in Florida,
right?
Why do you want to go play in Edmonton? No offense to people in Edmonton, but
Edmonton. I've been to Edmonton. Edmonton's nice, but yeah, I get your point.
It's cold as hell.
It's cold as hell. Yeah. That's what I was gonna say.
You know what I mean?
Cold as shit over there. Yeah, well, especially when you can do something nice, be in Florida, like to your point, right?
Or whatever. I mean, Minnesota. Minnesota's cold as hell too, but like, there's other spots to play. Vegas.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like Chicago, where there's much more going on in the world than Edmonton.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just a thought. So. But anyway, what do you think? Who are you taking?
I was looking at this other Connor kid. I was just watching some of his highlights while you were talking. And the kid, once again, dude, this is me, complete outsider. Yep. Right? I've consumed maybe total about 3 hours worth of hockey, including that one game that absolutely blew my mind. Right? If you guys want to watch me become a hockey fan, I'm gonna link the live session that I did that one night when I was watching that game, because I kept texting you and Jay back and forth like, "This is this normal?" And you guys were like, "No, this is not. You are watching a once in a lifetime game. This is insane." And I was hooked from that point. But anyway, I like this Connor kid. The I don't know what the technical term would be, but the way that he maneuvers that puck with the stick, and the way he has command over that puck, and the way he has command over his body, and the way he's over that stick like that, the man, he just looks like he's moving, and he looks like he's moving so effortlessly through everybody, and he stops on a dime, and I watched him break some ankles like a basketball, like an Allen Iverson crossover. Like, I don't know how
I'm picking Bedard all day long to have a better career. All day.
Just guys like Wembanyama, dude. The statistics are not there.
No,
the statistics are just not there, man. They're not there for them to have longevity in the game. Not the way the game is now. And let me tell you something. Not the way that basketball is evolving right now. After Joker, what he did this season, you best believe that there are teams out there, my Rockets being the main one, that are trying to mimic that entire offensive scheme, where the big man is doing his big man thing.
It's like old school basketball.
It's like old school basketball, baby. That's right. And guys like Wembanyama, I feel, are the tail end of what used to be what you wanted, which was a stretch 4 or a stretch 5, right? Man, he might have his advantages though, because that dude literally, he doesn't shoot the ball, he just drops it into the basket.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At that point.
So I think, talking a little basketball for a second too, I actually think that my Boston Celtics are going to be better this year than they have been at any time. And I'm going to tell you why. Trading Marcus Smart was the best thing that ever happened to that team.
You think so?
I know so.
I agree with
I've
you.
watched so many games where the ball is somehow ends up in his hands at the final shot, or
Yeah.
it's like this can't be happening. Like
he's a ball stopper.
Yep, you've
He's
got
a legitimate ball stopper.
two studs, and realistically, it's Jason Tatum's team, and he's got to kind of man up a little bit and say, "Listen, fellas, I'm the sheriff." You know what I mean? Yeah. But I think getting him out of the way and letting what's his face, barring a trade, Brogdon or Derek White run the point, that's just a much better scenario for that team overall. You know what I mean? And getting Porzingis, Porzingis isn't going to stay healthy. Everybody knows that. But
again, it's the same situation
with that Porzingis. Crappy load management thing and keep him healthy for the playoffs, that's dangerous, man. Because don't forget, until Porzingis got injured, he was an animal. Oh yeah, nobody could stop him.
He was a beast.
Nobody could stop him.
But once again, it's those big men with the injuries. Once they get those injuries, once they get that first one,
yep,
man, it's a hard road
it's
back.
Simple anatomy, you know what I mean? It's simple
anatomy. Exactly. I'll tell you what I'm excited about, though. Speaking a little basketball, Fred VanVleet and Dylan Brooks coming to my Rockets. Pretty exciting stuff, especially VanVleet.
Is that official?
So all signs point to yes, that by the end of this week, which is hopefully you guys will be listening to this podcast on Saturday, that it's a wrap. It's already a done deal.
When's the official free agency? July 1?
Is it? Yeah. What's tomorrow? The 30th?
Tomorrow.
Yeah, Saturday's. Yeah, what's the first? Yeah, that's a good question.
So Saturday.
What's the first day of free agency NBA. July 6th.
All right.
Teams can start signing players on July.
So they're already having those conversations. So.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, people are already lined up. Committed handshakes behind. Under the table deals, whatnot, yada yada. Sending the undisclosed briefcases of money. Kind of thing. The agents have already been taken care of. That kind of thing. Yep. I wanted to ask you something because I'm on this and we'll wrap up with this. I'm on this retail ripping kick, and we talked about this. Me, you, and Jay. You were talking about actually we talked about it on Big Scott's podcast the other day.
Yep.
Your shelves are pretty dry still, huh?
It's not even pretty dry. Bone dry.
Bone dry. Really?
Yep.
There is an abundance here on the shelves. The shelves are fully stocked.
Now there, like I said, man, there could be like that picture you sent me. I haven't seen that since COVID.
Really?
And I don't go and let me be very clear. I don't go looking for retail. I don't go out and hey, Saturday I'm driving around in the Walmarts and this and that. You also in the South have much bigger Walmarts and
we're
those
more
kind
spread
of
out.
stores.
Yeah, for sure.
You don't get those mega Walmarts up here.
Yes, I have 6 of them.
Yeah, so
within a 20-minute window.
We don't get that, and then and there's definitely some. I mentioned this, and I firmly believe this. There's still some shady dealings going on up here. I think between vendors and whoever and whatnot.
There's a little backroom action.
Yeah, there's got to be, because how can there everywhere else in the country everybody's stocked to the brim, and then just random New England and there's nothing.
So I bet you if you pull up at your LCS, it's they're fully stocked with retail stuff for $5, $5 markup. Yeah. But we're jam packed over here, man. I mean, there's everything. I mean, I walked up yesterday. I got a Prism Mega box and a Prism Blaster box. I'm probably gonna take some time tomorrow and go walk around and find some stuff because I want to start. I love ripping retail, man. Ripping retail stuff was super fun, and then I'm gonna try, going forward, and hopefully, the thing about it is too is that like one of the things I was realizing, like I ripped those couple of boxes. I got some pretty good cards. I may have spent a couple hundred, like close to $100, and then I probably got maybe like $60 or $70 worth of stuff that I could probably sell, move on, and stuff like that. But occasionally, you're gonna get that one nasty little hit,
Yeah.
And again, the point of all that. Let me see. What was it? I wanna get his name right because a lot of it has been. No, that's not that guy. God, what's his name, man?
What are
Anyway,
you talking about?
There's a guy on YouTube that I've been watching, man. He's been doing a lot of rips, a lot of vintage, a lot of retail rips, and he's kind of really got me. He's the one that kind of got me back on the itch of wanting to open up some stuff. And then I finally bought some boxes the other day, and I had a blast ripping those. And so I'm gonna start trying to do a little bit more of that. But that sucks, man. That you guys are bone dry up there.
Yeah, it's all good, man. Like I said,
But you don't rip that much anyway, right?
I don't rip much. I have one like spot I can go to that always has hobby product. Actually, there's two spots near me within 20 minutes that I can get hobby product pretty easily. And then,
is there any product that you absolutely have to have at least once a year? Like for me, it's hoops, right? You guys know I'm going hard. I'm buying hobby hoops. I'm buying retail hoops. I'm buying all the hoops.
I'd like to try to get like a box of Bowman when it comes out, whether it's the draft or Bowman Chrome or something like that. I like to get a box of tops. Sometimes depending on like what my card account looks like, if there's a box of like the guaranteed hit on the shelf, and I'm like, you know what, I feel like gambling. What the hell?
Let's give it a shot.
I'll do that. But and then again, I'd like to open a box of like older cards. Just you can't find any, and if you do, they're crazy money. So it's like whatever. I just I feel like whatchamacallit, I feel like my money is better spent on the singles and things that I want, versus just buying some retail or whatever. And you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
There's nothing really out there that I necessarily want or whatever. So
yeah, it's just been proven time and time again that ripping retail, if you're not doing it for the fun of it,
right,
then you're wasting.
Even ripping hobby is a losing proposition.
Oh yeah.
So you get your auto and it's like a pitcher or it's Billy Joe whatever, and you're like, oh great, I just spent $220 on this. Like I got a $5 auto. Woo! So like that stuff to me is like, if you spend 200 and for another 200 you can buy like a Stars autograph. Like,
guaranteed
why not
hit.
Just buy the Stars autograph? I don't know, right?
No, you got a good point.
That's how I look at it.
Yeah,
that's how I look at it.
Yeah. And by and large, I agree with you, except when it comes to hoops.
And I hear you. Like,
just got to rip.
I definitely hear you. Like, there's always like those certain times. I don't mind buying like a box of hockey, like when Series 1 and Series 2 come out, because it's always, you're gonna get your 6 young guns or whatever, and it's usually pretty cheap. This year, I would imagine Series 2 when that comes out, because that will have Connor Bedard's autograph. I'll have his rookie card in it. That stuff will be bananas.
I'm gonna try to buy up some of that stuff and try to hit.
Yeah,
hit the kid.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same. Like it's a wise. If this kid has anywhere close to the success in the NHL that Connor McDavid has had, you can look at Connor McDavid's sales history, right?
Yeah, and get a good
buy that card, like real quick, and then we'll end this, right? Because I think it's a kind of a cool thing.
You pulling up card hedge?
Yeah.
What are you pulling up?
So if you look at Connor McDavid's raw card value and you go all time, I mean, back in 2021, you could buy his raw card for $800. And it's all over the place with these stupid things, right? But it's generally trended, in the 800s, 900s here for a little while. And it's back down now in like the $700 range. So for $700,
and a lot of that depends on condition, right? Like people are assessing condition.
But if for a $700 to $900 purchase and you get a PSA 10, you're 3xing your money, bro.
Yeah.
And you're talking $3,000.
Yeah.
Now, obviously it takes a minute because McDavid's PSA 10 back in the day in 2020 was doing $855, and then it just went bananas, and it's kind of stayed up now.
Right.
Which is the other thing you can talk about too. It's like, these values that did shoot up, yes, they've come down, but they've also stayed at a much, much higher price on a lot of this stuff than it was prior to.
Yeah, pre-COVID.
So anyway, we never get to talk about the other thing we wanted to talk about either.
Which was Fanatics, but
card hedge.
That's right. Yeah. So we've used it a couple of times.
There's an hour. We're already into an hour. Ain't nobody listening this far. We'll do it next time.
Yeah, we'll do
it next time.
We'll catch you next time.
It's one we got to start right off the bat with.
Yeah, we really do. We really do on the next one because we definitely want to get some feedback from folks, and we got some pretty specific questions. But yeah. So again, remember, guys, if y'all want to sign up, the links are all in the description. You guys, we use them. We've used it a couple of times tonight. Just looking up some stuff, and as we're having these conversations and these questions pop up on pricing and stuff like that, it's always good to be able to just whip that thing out and look around and see what the prices used to be, histories, and all that stuff. So all the links are in the description if you guys want to check all that stuff out. I think that's it. Good shit as always, dude.
Yeah.
I got Panini points, so that was cool.
Nice.
250 Panini points, dude. That Panini points website is complete dog shit. It's
dog shit.
I mean, I was looking at Rockets stuff, like hoping to just at least get some good Rockets stuff. Maybe some players that are obscure that only I know about.
Yeah,
they had some of the worst. Chase Buttinger, Carlos Delfino. What was the other kid that they had? Omar Ashik. It's like Omar Ashik, really? That's what you're trying to sell me, an Omar Ashik auto from my Panini points? Get out of here. All right, anyway. Thanks everybody for listening. As always, we really appreciate you guys always checking in on Saturday mornings at noon when these drop. It's always pretty cool to see everybody jumping in and going, hey man, I'm glad you guys did an episode this week. So it's always pretty dope. But thank you guys for watching. All the links are in the description. Check out JD's channel, also linked in the description. And also check out the Clear the Mechanism podcast, which comes out Sundays, right?
Mondays,
Mondays. Yeah. Some shortly after ours, the day after, a couple of days after. I will be gone next weekend. So unless we figure out something where I record it or something else, we'll figure something out. If not, we'll just skip a podcast. But I will be sunbathing.
Word.
In a Speedo, which is gonna be great.
Oh, nice. Make sure you go Mexican hairless.
That's right. There's a good image I'll leave you guys with. Thank y'all for listening. We really appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Wait and see if the next episode comes out. And we'll catch y'all then. Peace out.
Later.